North Korean casualties reported after troops walk into DMZ.
Here's a summary of the article.
North Korea's military has suffered multiple casualties after landmines exploded in the heavily armed border that separates the country from South Korea, local media reported on Tuesday. The explosions in the demilitarized zone were reported just hours before the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, was due to visit the North Korean capital, Pyongyang, for the first time since 2000. In what appears to be an unrelated incident, dozens of North Korean soldiers briefly crossed the border on Tuesday for the second time in less than 2 weeks, but retreated after warning shots were fired, the South Korean Joint Chiefs of Staff said. The North Korean troops injured in the landmine explosions were working on creating barren land and laying additional mines along the border, an official from the JCS said, without revealing the date of the incident. On Tuesday, an estimated 20 to 30 North Korean soldiers carrying tools crossed the military demarcation line dividing the two countries on Tuesday morning, Yonhap said, citing the JCS. The soldiers left after forces in the south fired warning shots and broadcast warnings via loudspeakers set up along the border, the JCS said, adding that the brief incursion appeared to have been accidental. North Korea's activities seem to be a measure to strengthen internal control, such as blocking North Korean troops and North Koreans from defecting to the south, the JCS official said. North Korea has deployed hundreds of troops to lay mines, build walls and reinforce roads in recent weeks, Yonhap said.
This post received a score of 4,700, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
It's called the demilitarized zone, not the demined zone.
Could call it the dead man zone now.
Sliding into DMZ like.
As it says explosions, it makes me wonder if there was 2 or more separate mine accidents. Like if you were laying mines with your squad and one of your buddies blows himself up, and the officer says, "We are not stopping till at least 2 people die."
Mines placed close together can daisy chain. In Ukraine we've seen stockpiles blown up with just 1 grenade.
I mean, yeah, we all have seen the Hunger Games, right?
Have not, still gotta finish the book series?
Skip the Hunger Games bullshit and watch Battle Royale. Hunger Games is a cheap knockoff.
Battle Royale is so good.
I prefer Battle Royale with cheese.
Because of the metric system. Ezekiel chapter 25 verse 17.
Austin 3:16.
I went to South Korea a couple years ago and took a trip to the DMZ. First up, it's basically a tourist site for South Koreans and visitors. The North Koreans are so short, if you're over 5 feet 4 inches you gotta bend over to avoid hitting your head on the rock. That physical area of land between the two countries is a wildlife habitat now and home to multiple species of birds and plants. Whatever it was the North Koreans were up to, they knew the risks.
I got to do the tour with a higher-ranking individual. We didn't have to walk down, we used those sweet carts to the bottom and the ride back up. Also got to go into the building that sits on both sides of SK/NK.
Just like Conan O'Brien?
Sounds like a typical case of military brass trying to clean up their sections and brown nose before a VIP shows up. Someone figured it would look impressive to tell the boss, "We replaced all the mines in our sector." The other incident of troops entering the DMZ and getting shot at was probably along the same vein. Someone gave an order to clean up, do something impressive, which, when filtered down multiple steps in the chain of command and received by conscripted grunts, ended up being a really bad idea. Especially ironic, embarrassing in the sense of, if the mines North Korea uses themselves as self-detonating when emplaced, how bad are the ones they're giving to Russia?
Mines don't care who laid them, that's not really relevant to their quality law.
Greater than the North Korean troops injured in the landmine explosions were working on creating barren land? And laying additional mines along the border, an official from the JCS said. They were laying new mines. Granted, again, it could have been, and probably was, a mistake of failing to clear previous mines or wandering into the wrong area, but the perception NK blew themselves up on their own mines remains.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.